Hey everybody, and welcome back to Romantasy Roundtable, a tale of Rick and Roses. I am Rick, and I'm joined with my roses.
Amanda.
And Kim.
And as always, we would always appreciate if you like, subscribe, drop a message down in whatever comment section you're at, or shoot us an email at romantasyroundtable@gmail.com. Hello, guys. What?
You can also follow us on TikTok or on Instagram. We are at Romantasy Roundtable on all the, not all the things, because we're not on X.
Is it X now? Have we moved past the point where it's no longer Twitter?
I don't know, man. I feel like we can dead name Elon Musk's app, so let's just call it Twitter.
Okay.
I also, you should join us on both Book Talk and Instagram. One, if you join us on Book Talk, you will discover that if you like listening to Rick yap here, you will also like him on TikTok, and as have hundreds of other people, remarkably. And you should join us on Instagram because we only have like 19 people who follow us on Instagram, and we would love to have more.
No, there's like 22.
I think we know all of them.
Look.
Okay, so we set it up so that Rick would be in charge of the TikTok and I would be in charge of the Instagram, and then I went on vacation, and Rick is like really into making content, and I'm not even into posting the content. Like, I'm not even good at posting the content that Rick makes. So we're more active on Book Talk, but if you follow us on Bookstagram, maybe I'll get better at Bookstagram.
It's fun. I'm talking to all the people.
I'm so glad.
I'm making all the friends. It's great. I love it.
And I have downloaded TikTok again, and the only reels that I have watched on TikTok have been what Rick has posted. So I actually feel very proud of myself in that I have not fallen into the TikTok doom scroll once whatsoever. I sign on and I'm immediately just like, did he post something so that I can go and like it and engage with it and then sign off?
Yeah, that's not what happened to me. So I've never really used TikTok before, except for the school thing that I was making. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I got something crazy for you. If your algorithm finds things that you like, you can just keep scrolling and like see more things that you like.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem.
Isn't that great?
Yep.
Yeah. It is. All right, so we are continuing our journey with Selena Sardothian, right? That's what we're talking about this week.
No, it's not.
She's making her journey to the Throne of Glass, right? This is what we're talking about?
I haven't read this book.
That's a problem.
Okay, but
problem.
I'm doing all this other stuff right now.
No, this is the stuff you should be doing. This is really the stuff you should be doing. I got my They Kissed in the Rain. Got that square yesterday.
Nice. Congrats.
Real happy about that. Although I don't know which book it's in because I'm doing the tandem read. I'll just pick one of them. I think I know which book it is.
I think it's an Empire.
What happened, Amanda?
It doesn't tell you which book you're reading?
So, some literal angel from heaven. I had this idea. So Kim did like the book and then the book, right? And I was like, oh man, how am I going to do that on a Kindle? But wait, some literal angel took both ebooks and did it for us. And you just keep reading it as one huge book.
So you don't always know which one you're in?
Not necessarily, but from...
It says it like at the start of the chapter, but like, why would you retain that?
It doesn't really tell you the start of the chapter.
Oh, okay.
The only real reason why I know which book I'm in is because they are in two different places. Like the A team is over here and the B team is over here. So when they switch perspectives, I know who's where. Although I think it's really dumb. I think it's really dumb that she did this because like her last book had different perspectives in different places. Don't know why you need two books like this. It doesn't actually make any sense. So, anywho, we're talking about ghosts, right?
So, we begin in chapter 18. where Ophelia and Blackwell are debating his ghost abilities and her sister's infatuation with Phantasma. Ophelia learns that the Manor's rooms move, and her accidental discovery of a secret room was due to her ability to imagine it into existence. They also discuss the competition structure, where devils coordinate haunts and only high-level contestants meet their creator. Blackwell teases Ophelia about her previous terrifying experience in the passageway before they venture back through it.
So, my main notes for this one was that it says that they don't know who's in charge of Phantasma at this point.
Yeah.
And they say only the devils know, and they're sworn to secrecy. I think Kim said it last time. I think it's Blackwell.
Yeah, so they talk about how, because he's a phantom. He's a phantom. He's a phantom, and they talk about like how somebody becomes a phantom versus apparition.
He's a phantom, and she's a clown. What happens when you put them?
That was before we started recording, guys. I almost read a book about a clown, and then I said, no.
That would have been the true horror book. Forget this
right?
horror book. That would have been it.
I don't know. I just don't think that's for me. I've vetoed 2 books that were on my TBR this week. We'll talk about the other one at some point, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm pulling up the hierarchy of paranormal beings. So he's a phantom, which is the highest classification of ghost, but most of the ghosts that we see encounter that she deals with as a necromancer are apparitions, which we talked about in the last episode is like what you would typically think of as a ghost. And so she asks him in this chapter, like, how does one become a phantom rather than an apparition? And I took really crappy notes on this section, but he basically says, like, there's a couple different ways, but he says kind of flippantly that sometimes phantoms are the ghosts of immortal beings. Mm-hmm. So an immortal being could die and become a phantom versus a mortal being would die and become an apparition. And so we've talked a little bit, like, is he a phantom? Is he some kind of demon? So now I'm thinking, like, maybe he was a demon or a devil, because he is matching my physical description of a phantom, which if you listen to our last episode, you'll know comes from the seminal text, Danny Phantom, the Nickelodeon cartoon show. So he does have snow white hair and glowing green eyes. And that's how I know that he's a phantom.
He's a phantom.
Thank you.
I'm glad. I mean, I feel like I have already sort of made this my hill I'm going to die on with this book, that he is some kind of high-level devil, if not like the highest, even though I think we know now that he's not the highest, as we learn in some of these chapters a little bit later. But yes, I still think it's abundantly clear, at least to me, that he is some kind of devil. And Amanda, I think you are right in positing that he probably is now a phantom because he was a devil in life and then got killed somehow in Phantasma and blah, blah, blah.
And that's why he's tied to it. Yeah. I also, my like dark horse hot take is that he's not a devil, he's an angel.
Pause. I don't think so. I think Ophelia is an angel.
I kind of do too, actually. She talks about, man, and we're like really getting ahead of ourselves here, but like I said, I have shit notes, so like I don't know what we're talking about. But man, the heaven imagery in this section is heavy-handed. It's like he keeps talking about, he calls her angel. He talks about how she smells heavenly. He talks about how she tastes heavenly. Like, it's like the heaven is like he's whacking us over the head with it.
Yeah. Well, and also too, I mean, the fact that Gabriel, we learn more about Gabriel in some of these chapters too, so we'll talk about that. And what her additional power ends up being, like all of this stuff, just agreed, kind of leads me to think that she's got some angelic characteristics.
And like, if he's a devil and she's an angel, like
he's a devil and she's an angel.
And I'm a clown. All right. Anything else on 18?
Nah.
Cool. Moving on to 19. Ophelia and Blackwell search the Manor's room, including a library for clues. But Ophelia becomes frustrated by Blackwell's unhelpful nature. She realizes
What just happened?
My phone rang with a telemarketing scheme, as it does every time we're recording.
That's crazy.
I don't know how to turn.
Do you think they listen?
Do not disturb. Okay, we're gonna see if do not disturb works. Okay, Blackwell has no memory of events outside of the competition, which explains his earlier questions about their first meeting. Jasper, who's a devil, appears. We met Jasper in the last section, didn't we?
Yeah.
So Jasper appears and teases Blackwell. So he's implying, he's like, oh, is this like the contestant that you're sleeping with right now? So implying that he has a previous history of having relations with his contestants, because we learned in the last section that he like always picks a contestant to make a bargain with, and he helps them win. So now Ophelia is curious about his past. And then the chapter ends with the announcement of level 2, which is lust, and Blackwell ushers Ophelia away.
Let's see. I just quoted something. I said, he said, if you want to play rough, I have better games we can play, ones that involve less clothing. And I said, oh, Blackwell. He's a ham. I love him.
I really like, I'm enjoying this book.
Yeah.
I am too.
He's good.
Yeah. You haven't even gotten to the soup, but the innuendo is good. So yes. Agreed.
Go ahead. Pause.
We gotta pause.
Pause.
This is obviously one of my favorite things anytime a book does this at all, right? But in this chapter, they referenced Frankenstein, and I love it when a book is another book.
Come on, that's what I always say. It's not Frankenstein, but they do reference Frankenstein, but the book is not Frankenstein.
Right.
I love it when a book is a book.
Thank you. What I'm going to say actually is kind of like the in between 19 and 20 like bridge, which is that I just listened to our last episode and we all made predictions about the lust level. I don't know if you remember our predictions, but Rick was like, obviously it's going to be Blackwell, but it's not really going to be Blackwell. It's going to be somebody like pretending to be Blackwell. And she's going to, yeah. And she's going to have a hard time resisting. And I said, I'm wondering if we're going to save, like, if like lust isn't going to be lust, if it's going to be like more figurative than that. And then Kim said, I'm wondering if it's going to be bloodlust. And I would like to give us tens across the board.
Oh yeah.
All three of us disagreed, and yet we nailed it. We were all right, which I think is really cool. I did say that I thought the sex was going to come more in the gluttony chapter, which didn't happen, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, after lust, I feel like we get a much looser interpretations of some of the levels, which I know we'll get to also.
We also switched gluttony and greed from Dante's Inferno, and I don't understand why we did that.
Fair. Anyway. But I mean, like the second she drank the potion and it was bloodlust, I wrote in my notes. I was like, nailed it.
But Rick was also right, which I think is like really wild. And I guess I was kind of in between the two of you. So I get a half star, but you guys each get a full star. All right. So I
might have better notes for you. That's what I've been working on.
I would love better notes.
Right.
Well, I remember chapter 20, so I can start yapping about it while you get better notes. So It's level 2. It's lust time. So Ophelia is facing hostile contestants in the dining hall, particularly Cade fucking Barlow, who slaps her. And then what?
I did not like that.
Oh, you didn't like it? Yeah.
No. Sorry.
Okay. I thought there was more to what you were gonna say.
No, I didn't like that.
Okay. But
he makes her bleed. I mean, it's not even just like a little bitch slap. It is like full on, I'm literally coming for blood.
Right. So his whole argument is that like she keeps like disappearing a little bit. And so he thinks she must be a demon. And so he makes her bleed to prove that she's mortal. And oh yeah. And then the Devil of Lust shows up, and like the Devil of Lust is like super sexy, and some contestant makes a lewd comment, and she gets rid of his mouth. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
It was crazy. And
that was kind of scary. like the way they described it, like him just like trying to scream and crying, but he couldn't because he didn't have a mouth. Like it was just gone. Like I envisioned some like I don't like horror movies, and I envisioned like one of those things that I've seen a million times where it's just like a blank area
Yeah.
on his face.
Like I was thinking like Scarecrow from Batman a little bit, but we talked about this in the last episode too. Like none of us are really into horror. And so it's kind of wild that we're all enjoying this so much, but anytime there's like a straight up horror element, I think all three of us are a little bit like,
Yeah.
But
I think like the non-horror fan in me also thought that this was going to resolve. So I was like, she took his mouth away, and then clearly it's going to come back, and he's going to like continue on. And instead,
it didn't.
Like goodbye.
No. Well, I think for me that was like the Hunger Games reader in me that was like, and he's dead now. He's gone.
Yeah.
All right. So the clue,
I sent you better notes.
Thank you. The clue
Or
about
different. I didn't have a chance to look at them. Sorry. Go ahead.
the clue about this chapter. So the clue about this chapter indicates a time limit and that the key to freedom lies beneath a bed. And so we get the clues in chapter 20. And there's some others. I don't know if this happens in 20 or 21, but it doesn't super matter, I guess. But so she goes into the lust level. Can we talk a little bit about what the lust level is like?
Oh yeah, we can. I think this can go into 23 as 2021 as well. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Kim.
So she's given a selection of drinks to choose that are different colors, and so she chooses one that it's red, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which then creates the bloodlust around her. So all the drinks, we don't actually know what kinds of lust the other ones were, but they ostensibly were each a different kind of lust. And so the level would have, sort of generated based off of whatever the drink that the contestant had. So it's bloodlust. These are basically like vampires going at it in this stage.
Right. It is both lust and bloodlust. So we're getting like there is soup. We're not getting descriptions of the soup. We're just getting vague, like
it's soup.
The soup is happening, but we're not hearing about what it is.
Okay, but I do love that she references it later of like, I saw things in the lust level, and so now I want to try that. It's like, girl learned something from at least watching the soup around her. So good on her.
Look, I don't think we had like real true pornography in whatever era that this book is set in. Is it 1850? Is it 2016? We're not sure. But I don't think they had videos when this was made. So she's got to learn from somewhere, I guess.
And she learned. She took it in. Good on her. So she was also told by Blackwell that she should call him every time that a level starts.
Yes.
And she does not do that.
She doesn't.
But
she doesn't do it ever.
I know. It's actually really annoying. It's like the easiest thing. It's just like,
I think it's my least favorite thing about the book.
Yeah.
God.
But anyway, so who she thinks is Blackwell shows up. And there is some sexual tension between her and Blackwell until she realizes that it's not actually Blackwell. So it is part of the level and somebody is impersonating him.
And fake Blackwell tells her like she has to give in to the bloodlust. So they have to like drink each other's blood in order to pass the level or whatever. And she's like, that doesn't sound right because there's like a time limit and there's a key and that doesn't sound right. But in that process, she ends up saying Blackwell's name 3 times. And so he shows up and he's like, wait, you didn't call me? And she's like, no. And he's like, then why did you say my name 3 times? And she blushes.
Yeah.
But she did also realize that the phantom demon, whatever being is impersonating Blackwell, was not actually him because he called her by the wrong nickname.
He did not call her Angel.
Didn't call her Angel.
He called her like sweetheart or something, didn't he?
Yeah, generic. So she so she realizes like the real Blackwell comes in. I don't actually remember how they get out of this level. he helps
So
her.
the real Blackwell comes in and he basically says like, he takes the poison out of her or whatever. He like brings her a little bit more clear-headed, and the exit is under a bed. That's really it. And they like work together to find the exit. It's hidden under a bed.
Yeah, and they literally had to like move people off the mattresses to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So in chapter 21, Ophelia is struggling with the psychological impact of the illusion and her inability
I
to
love
trust.
that.
Yeah.
I really did. Like, she had just been like, that's really realistic. Like, she had just been in this whole thing where things weren't real, and it wasn't like, oh, okay, sure. She didn't just accept it. It was just like, when she got out of there, she was like, wait, is this real? I don't know if this is real. Are you real? Am I in the right place? Like that. So that felt very, this whole book has been like, felt like so weirdly grounded in reality, even though it's about ghosts.
Yeah, I think like I'm gonna harp on this so much. Like I think this is again like such a textbook OCD thing, where she's like not sure if she can trust her own reality, which I think absolutely feels real, particularly for someone who has a voice in her head telling her to do things that aren't actually what she wants to do, that aren't actually what she needs to do, and she understands that factually, but she can't make it stop. And so I think like kind of gaslighting yourself and questioning your own reality, I think, is part of like the quote unquote horror movie of having OCD, which I know I said was going to bother me. I'm like really, I'm really appreciating it like a lot more than I thought I would.
That's good.
I think the further it gets into it, and she does a really good job of, by she, I mean the author does a really good job of like richly explaining sort of like the OCD experience, and acknowledging it and not sensationalizing it. And so, yeah, I've actually grown to appreciate it as well.
It's very clear to me that this is written by a person with OCD. The same way that like when we read, when we were reading Fourth Wing, I was like, our girl Rebecca knows a deaf person.
Yeah.
She's not like nailing the deaf experience, but she's so, I mean, what would I know? I'm not deaf, but like she is nailing an understanding of the deaf community that would not exist from someone who's never had any interaction with the community. This is like, oh, she is nailing OCD. And maybe just like my particular flavor of OCD. So like, yikes, but I appreciate it. It is terrifying for me.
Yeah. It's scary for me too. But I can't imagine, what it's like for you.
Yeah. All right.
So I was real quick. I was laughing a few minutes ago. I had just I posted this morning that video of like, I want to read, and then I'm like working out with the Kindle. Somebody was like, "Sir, may I recommend an audiobook?"
Yeah, that's like literally why people read audiobooks.
All right.
One of
Sorry,
the
go ahead.
Okay. So she's struggling with like what's real, what's not real. Blackwell is reassuring her, explaining that the trial is designed explicitly to sow this kind of paranoia. And he reveals that he made a deal with Jasper to access the contestant logs to find information about Genevieve and Gabriel. And this is the first time where she's like, what did you exchange? And he's like, don't worry about it. And she doesn't press, which I'm like, girl. He does that again later, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Chapter 22.
Going back to like me think I still think Blackwell's a devil. Jasper had said devils don't have friends.
Yes.
And I think he's referring to him and Blackwell. Like him and Blackwell aren't friends because devils don't have friends. So I'm still gonna be on this whole Blackwell's a devil train.
Yeah, I think we're all on that train together. We bought group tickets.
And when he found out that Cade slapped her, he's like, yeah, I'll be right back. And he obviously goes to like mess him up. And for once we have a female main character who's not like, wait, hold on, don't hurt him. She's like, yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, thank you.
Right. So that's the beginning of I wrote chapter 22, I think. So maybe that's the end of chapter 21. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, because he says that every time I allow you to get hurt, the bond unravels a little. And so he, Cade fucking Barlow busted her lip. And so now Blackwell has to go and fuck him up.
Yep, which he did.
All right, it's chapter 22. They're exploring a secret corridor, discovering a puzzle involving numbered stones. They successfully activate a hidden passage by pressing the stones in order. The passage leads to a room where they're attacked by acid dripping from the ceiling, which forces Blackwell to quickly remove Ophelia's acid-singed clothing to prevent injury. And he reveals, oh, that's when he says that it weakens the bond. Here are my notes from this chapter. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
How is he warm? He's a ghost. How does he have chiseled abs? He's a ghost. And then I think, no, then this is actually chapter 23, maybe. Because we get our first soup, right?
Yeah.
No, we do.
23.
I said he gave her a little taste of the soup. He did. And then she's like, that was the best ever, but it can't happen again. And I'm like, sure, Ophelia, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So the first most annoying thing is that she never summons him when she says she's going to. The second most annoying thing is that she never presses when he says, don't worry about it. And the third most annoying thing is that every time there's soup, she's like, we can't ever do this again.
Right.
And what are we going to do for the next 400 pages?
Right.
I had this sort of realization as this soup happened, that we have read entirely female authors so far, as we've been reading Romantasy, which fantastic, love that. But also, like, every time the first soup happens, it is all about the female main character. And I'm like, this is the fantasy element of this book, because like, this is not what happens when you hook up with somebody for the first time. It is not about the female main character.
I think so. I've almost exclusively read female writers this year, with like very few exceptions. And even in like the contemporary romances I've been reading, I can only think of one occasion where he finishes first.
Yeah.
And in that occasion, it's like, he immediately is like, oh my God, I can't believe I let that happen. And it's like, girl, who are these men?
This is where I would like to recommend A Court of Silver Flames.
So when the soup happens, he's like, have you never done that before? And she's like, oh no, I had a lover, but he never did that. And Blackwell says, then he was useless and a waste of your time.
I love that.
And that's
so good.
Read romance novels.
So I also have more questions about Blackwell here, specifically about the soup, because he has no memory of time before Phantasma, and he only apparently remembers what happened during the competition.
Yes.
So how is he so soupy?
Muscle memory.
We know that he's had some soup in Phantasma.
Yes.
But how did he have soup the first time in Phantasma? I don't know. But now he's like ageless, so he's probably had more soup as a ghost than he did as a demon.
And he's like, I'm like throwing you all over the room. And it's just like, how do you get these moves when you don't remember your own life?
Muscle memory. You know?
His muscles remember, his brain does not. That's a tagline.
I love that.
Contemporary romance about someone with amnesia.
And at the end of this chapter, after the soup is done, she finds a message that says, and Gabriel forever. Dum, dum, dum.
Yes. Okay, so chapter 23, Olivia and nope. Who's Olivia?
Rodrigo.
Ophelia and Blackwell discuss the Gabriel name found etched in the floor, which Ophelia believes is connected to her sister. Her sister left a note that said, find Gabriel. Blackwell agrees to try to access the contestant logs to find more information. The shadow voice is so intense in this chapter. It is repeating. I didn't write which word it's repeating. I think it's like embarrassing, maybe. It is repeating the same word for like 3 pages straight.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is where I'm saying our girl Kaylie has OCD, because that was so real and so scary. Okay, so there's her shadow voice is being really intense. It's tormenting Ophelia, and Blackwell offers her comfort and assurance that she is not undesirable. Blackwell also proposes training Ophelia to better control her magic, for the upcoming levels.
My only notes here are just, you already said it, the shadow voice is being really mean to her, and I don't like it.
Yeah, we don't like when it's mean to our girl. We don't like when Cade slaps her, and we don't like when the shadow voice torments her.
Nope.
So the thing with her magic is like she's got these like blue sparks, but she's also been able to make parts of herself disappear at times, which at this point in the book we've already acknowledged is not normal for a necromancer. And so in chapter 24, Blackwell starts training Oilia to control her magic, using her invisibility as a self-defense mechanism. And so I wrote a note that said, is she not just a necromancer? We don't know anything about her dad. Maybe she's the child of a necromancer and a demon, which then I didn't write this, but I was like, maybe she's the child of a necromancer and an angel. And then we find out a few chapters later that she's supposedly the child of a necromancer and a specter. And we don't know anything about what a specter is. So that's a word in old-timey books that means ghosts. So I don't know, but like that's a Shakespeare word. Okay, so he's like throwing knives at her to trigger her disappearing act, which she eventually learns to control consciously. Jasper brings the contestant logs and warns him about the consequences if anything happens. And Oilia realizes that the competition is centuries old and hopes to find Gabriel's name in the log.
And at the end of this chapter, they go right to the competition.
They're going right to greed, which again, according to my notes on Dante's Inferno, greed's actually the 4th level, not the 3rd. So I don't know why she switched that. Kaylie, if you're listening, I'm really curious.
I'm going to get Kaylie on the podcast just to ask her some questions.
She's our first.
I'll take care of that.
Yeah, and then in the clue, they literally told her it was going to be a gold cage over lava, and then she shows up in greed, and it's a gold cage over lava, and she's like, "Whoa!" It's like,
and yet again, as we've already said, does not call Blackwell.
Doesn't call him.
It's like you were sitting in a cage above lava. Like the first thing you do is like scream his name 3 times. Like,
yeah,
right.
So obvious and easy.
My notes for chapter 25 say the shadow voice stuff is too real. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Thank you, and how dare you. I have no more notes about OCD for the rest of the section, I think. All right, so she's in the greed level. So she's in a gilded cage suspended over a sea of boiling lava. The cage is slowly lowering, and the only way to raise it is to attach golden weights found in the cliffside. So she like burns her hands trying to like figure out what's going on. Then she's like knocking on the thing because that's what the shadow voice is telling her to do. And then she finally summons Blackwell. And he explains that the only way to raise it is to attach these golden weights found in the cliffside. So she's got to like dig them out of the cliffside, attach them to a cage, to the chain. But as she's raising her cage, it lowers
another cage. Yeah.
And so it's a deadly competition. So she witnesses Cade collecting multiple weights, prioritizing personal gain over the lives of others, causing them to fall faster. So if you keep the weights, you can keep them with you when you go,
and you can take them.
And you can take them with you. So he's getting extra weights, which is making other people fall faster, but he's doing it it's about greed.
Yeah.
Yep. Hate fucking Barlow.
I will say, I thought the level was creative, I guess. I mean, this is not how I would have envisioned greed in a competition. So I liked that, I guess.
I did.
Even though, I mean, so, you know, she burned herself because she touched the rope without realizing that she had to put weights in it first. And Blackwell is not able to like super help her because if he becomes corporeal being again, he's going to weigh too much and make the cage fall. So she's got to like get herself up to all these weights. So she keeps hurting herself also. So by the end of it, her hand is like completely tore up because she burned it and then like continues to like just tear it on the rocks as she's digging out the weights. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I got nothing else.
I thought the levels thus far have been quite creative.
Until we get to one later where I was very confused.
Yeah, I have one that I really hate too.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to that.
Not that I hate, I was just confused.
Agreed. I think we're all probably talking about the same one. So, all right. So she gets out of the level. As she's raised up enough, she hears people descending into the lava and realizes that her salvation means that somebody else has died. She gets out of the level and like passes out. So she awakens to Blackwell healing her. She's embarrassed by her vulnerability during the trial and her struggle with the shadow voice, which like she's starting to talk to Blackwell about a little bit more. Blackwell's trying to understand it and reassure her that she's not broken. They share an intimate moment in the hallway where Blackwell passionately kisses and touches her, making her experience profound pleasure, suggesting a deeper connection between them. Thanks, ChatGPT. Gemini, sorry. And then Ophelia senses a familiar, unsettling presence between them, watching them.
And that's the creepy part, because I mean, let's call this what it is. We are deep in the soup again in this chapter.
Yeah.
In the middle.
We got a throne scene.
Yeah, basically. And she's like, oh, there's a presence watching us. And then still is like, whatevs, keep going. All good.
Yes.
That creeps me out.
And then he like transports her to their bedroom, where, you know, they're just so into each other. Like, she's like, oh my God, he's gorgeous. And he keeps calling her angelic. He talks about how she tastes like heaven. There's like, she's gotta be an angel. Like,
yeah, 100%.
So they are, she takes control. The notes say she's exploring a newfound desire to taste him, inspired by scenes from a previous trial. And then all of a sudden, here's what my notes say. There's thunder. And I said, is Violet here? And then it starts raining blood. And I said, oh, it's not Violet. It's just Pharaoh. Over everybody. So Blackwell starts to clear away. He's like, oh, let's stop, or let's move, or let me stop it. And she's like, that's fine. Like, we can just keep going.
Yeah.
So they finish the soup in a rainstorm of blood.
Crazy.
It's a whole new kink we didn't even know we were going to get into here.
Really.
That's right. Blood rain.
Blood rain. I had no idea that was a thing. We're learning so much.
Blood Rain is a video game from the mid 2000s on Xbox. Also came to PlayStation after that.
Thanks, Alexa. This is also where I would like to tell you that in The Sims, post achievement. So in The Sims, when you woohoo with a ghost, you get like an achievement that unlocks that says that you've like, I don't remember what it's called, but you get an achievement for woohooing with a ghost. So Ophelia has officially unlocked that achievement. She has woohooed a ghost.
Good job, Ophelia.
Yeah, excellent work.
Ghost Soup is crazy.
He's moving her around. They're like
he's like teleporting her.
Like, again, Kim saying the most fantasy element of the fantasy novels is that the first soup always focuses on the woman. I would say also up there was like how seamlessly everyone's just switching positions. How, like, this does not happen.
How has somebody not been kicked in the face? Or like
yes, I'm on top of him and I'm upside down hanging from the ceiling. And it's like, what? Like, at least he's a ghost. And so like there's some powers involved. But like, I feel like even in Fourth Wing and Akatar, we're getting, it's like, and in a beat, I'm over here. And it's like, what?
Right.
How? Anyway, so Ophelia asks Blackwell to stay the night. And that's the way that chapter 27 ends. Chapter 28, Ophelia wakes to find Blackwell still beside her in his ghostly form. He's like just casually flipping through the contestant records. And despite her internal struggle to remain detached, she finds comfort in his presence and is surprised to discover her exhaustion has lifted. He tells her he's found several Gabriel entries and he clothes her magically, suggesting that she rest more, but Ophelia insists on helping him. search. I love that we get full descriptions of the outfits that he makes for her. It's fun.
And his own, for that matter.
That's true. He's fashion forward Phantom.
And I do like that she said, like, where did this outfit come from? And he was like, my imagination.
My imagination, my fantasies. All right, chapter 29. After a period of searching for Gabriel without success, Ophelia expresses her frustration and hurt over Genevieve's secrets, particularly regarding their mother's past in Phantasma and the family's debt. Blackwell offers her bourbon, and through her conversation, he helps her process her feelings about her family's hidden life and her own reluctance to embrace her magical legacy. She gets very drunk. And he refers to the bourbon being like 30 years old. And if I can just be obnoxious for 5 seconds, you don't want 30-year-old bourbon.
Mm-mm.
In order to be bourbon, whiskey has to be made in the United States. It has to be at least 51% corn. There's some proofing requirements. It has to come off the still at a certain proof and go in the barrel at a certain proof. I don't remember those numbers. It's been a while since I gave whiskey tours. But it has to be aged in a new charred white oak barrel. And so a new charred barrel is going to age much faster than a Scotch, which is aged in a used barrel. And that's why you get like 30, 40, 50-year Scotches. If you aged bourbon, even in a 53-pound or 53-gallon barrel, which is like the large standard size, most of it would evaporate. And what's left would taste like a burnt tree. And so I would just like to say, don't go searching for a 30-year bourbon. I would say a 7 to 10 year is a plenty aged bourbon. And in fact, if you're going for a craft bourbon, even a less than 2-year bourbon that's aged in a 5 or 10-gallon barrel is going to be lovely. So this has been Amanda's Whiskey Time. And if anybody tells you that bourbon has to be made in Kentucky, you can tell them to suck it, because that's not true. And some of the best bourbon in the United States of America, and therefore the world, is made right here in New York State. And if you would like bourbon recommendations, you can send us an email at romantasyroundtable@gmail.com, and I will recommend a bourbon to you. And if you're a bourbon company and you'd like to sponsor us, we accept payment in the form of bourbon bottles.
I was going to say, this podcast is now fully sponsored by bourbon.
Fully sponsored by bourbon.
I like cider.
You've been on my tour, I think. How'd I do?
You did great.
Jumped out of my memory. It was muscle memory. I did it.
I told you. It's all about muscle memory.
All right. Anyway, she gets drunk on overaged bourbon, I guess.
She gets real drunk.
What?
Yeah.
She gets real drunk. Yeah. She hasn't really drank much in her life. She only drinks absinthe sometimes, which bourbon is harder for her than absinthe, which is like, girl, how?
But that's also chapter 28.
What?
I'm telling you, it's chapter 28.
I don't know. I'm going by your notes. I don't have notes again until chapter 35.
Did you use? I didn't look at the updated notes. Did you look at the new email or no?
I got the updated notes.
Okay, that's definitely chapter 28. We're still fine. But
all right, chapter 29 is when she wakes up with a hangover.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So she wakes up with a hangover. She's discussing Blackwell's lack of memory outside of Phantasma and the loneliness of being a phantom. It's so sad to be a phantom. Nobody really knows him. He admits that the past contestants he's kissed never tried to get to know him as intimately as Ophelia has. So she's like, haven't the other contestants tried to get to know you? And he's like, no. And then he teaches, they do some more magic, and Sinclair appears. Sinclair's
here. He's the new bad guy.
He's the newer, bigger bad. And so Sinclair shows up. He seems to know Blackwell, and he hints at a deeper, troubling connection to Ophelia's family.
He also tells her, you're the key to his undoing. She's the key. It's right there.
I didn't write it down, but I was like, Rick's going to be so annoying about this. She implies that he's Blackwell's plaything and the key to his undoing. And he's enraged. I'm going back and forth between the two notes now. Blackwell is enraged by these taunts, and he attacks Blackwell, but Blackwell attacks Sinclair.
Yes.
But Sinclair disappears and traps Blackwell outside the room. Is that now?
Yeah, he does.
Um, yes, that is now.
Yeah, because he has a conversation with her now. Yeah.
Yeah, and he wants Ophelia to drop out of the competition.
Yeah, he's like, make another deal with me.
Yeah.
And I'll free you from your deal with Blackwell, and I'll give you, I'll save your family or whatever.
She's basically like, why are you offering this to me? And he's like, I hate that dude.
Yeah.
And he needs to stay in here with me.
Yeah, and that's all he gives her at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
he hit. So what Sinclair said to her was that Blackwell hid the fact that Gabriel and Tessie Grimm's name was in the book of contestants. Tessie is her mom, right? So Blackwell knew that and hid that from her. I also have a question at this point in my notes that I wrote. Blackwell, first name or last name?
Well, we had hypothesized that he was Gabriel Blackwell.
Right. That's what, yeah.
No longer my hypothesis, but I think it sounds like a last name to me.
Me too. I'm just wondering then what's the missing name?
Yeah. It's a really good point. Sinclair could also be a first name or a last name.
That's true.
Jasper, honestly. So like maybe the demons only have one name. I don't know. So yes, so her mother, Tessie Grimm, and Gabriel White were Phantasma contestants, leading her to believe Gabriel White is her father. Blackwell confirms and reveals that Gabriel was a specter and his bargain for freedom. So he was one of the guys that Blackwell helped. So his bargain for freedom is tied to Blackwell's life force. Ophelia is overwhelmed by the secrets kept from her, particularly by her mother and sister, and feels betrayed by Blackwell for not revealing this sooner. He hasn't known this for like a super long time. It's not like he caught it the day he got the contestant logs, but like when she said Gabriel, he was like, holy shit. And then when he saw Gabriel written, he was like, holy shit. And that is like why he wanted the contestant logs. So there, like, I think he says he like didn't want to tell her until there was something to tell. And it doesn't seem like he really knew her mom.
Right. Just that she was a contestant. Yeah.
And she's really mad at him. And I wrote that we're at that point of the book where the two characters are mad at each other. But like throughout this entire time, he's done nothing but help her. I think it's kind of dumb that she's getting mad at him. Like he's done not one thing to cause her to actually be weary of him. Like there must have been a reason. And she's like, I don't know, she jumps a little bit too much here for me.
Yeah.
And I think like his explanation is reasonable, where he's like, I was trying to figure stuff out myself also. And I wanted to tell you at a time when it like wouldn't be distracting and weird that we could have this conversation. So yeah, I agree. It's like, he's not like purposely hiding it. He was just sort of being intentional about when he was going to talk about it.
She also like kind of needs to keep her shit together because she needs in the competition and most importantly not die. So he doesn't want to like throw her off her game literally, because then they're both screwed. Like he doesn't want her to fail as much as she doesn't want to fail. Like their fates are bound up in each other at this point. And so I get it. I understand why he didn't just want to like throw it out there and like throw her off her game when, the next level, she just finished one level and the next level starting and they're searching for Gabriel and like they're, having soup and like also she has to sleep. So like, I don't know how there's time for all of this, honestly.
Right. I'm like, the soup is nice, but like, yeah, I just want to go to bed.
Okay. So, we're headed to level 4, which is the gluttony level. This is the level I don't understand.
I'm so confused here.
I don't understand how this is gluttony, like at all.
It's not even how it's gluttony for me. I could not picture what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, I got that they were on a chessboard. Bless you. I didn't really understand how bless you, like the gold bars, were they floating? Were they like on a bike? Which way were the spinning blades coming from?
Right. And they're all supposed to be moving in one direction, but then suddenly somehow contestants are like able to interact, even though they're not supposed to be able to, like the whole thing. And like what happens when the levers go up and down. Yeah. I spent far too much time like really trying to work this out in my head. And then I was like, I just need to read on vibes. Like,
I think it's
this is happening, and we're just gonna get through it.
I'm glad I did this on vacation because I spent no time trying to figure it out. I was like, I don't get it. I just moved on with my life.
I actually think Kaylie had a really good idea with it that was just extremely difficult to describe on paper. Like, I think she saw it in her head really well, and just getting it out was a chore.
And some editor was like, meh, close enough, you know.
Right. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so all right, so it's like there's a chessboard and there's swinging pendulums triggered by the contestants' movements and their gluttony for gold bars. So like a couple gold bars appear, and this also I think is the first time that they can all immediately see each other.
Correct.
And so people are reaching for the gold bars, and then when they grab them, like they get lowered or raised, and then some pendulums come, and they're like, in my brain, they're like axes.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick just zoomed in on himself.
I'm playing around with center stage.
Okay. I don't even know what that is. So she's learning to navigate the deadly grid by turning invisible, which helps her remove her collar and chains. And other contestants, like Cade fucking Barlow, are acting selfishly, triggering more traps and demonstrating the level's theme of gluttony, according to Google Gemini, which I don't really get this as gluttony. What are you doing?
So you're playing with center stage.
What is center stage?
It's like a Mac thing where it like tracks my face. So if I go over here, it'll like bob my head.
This is really great for a podcast that is audio.
Yeah, well, if you want to see what he's doing, I guess you can watch us on YouTube.
Yeah,
because I think we post faces now, which is why I put mascara on today.
You did it.
I did it. I didn't put eyeliner on, but I did put mascara on. Okay, so during level 4, so now we're on chapter 32. So during level 4, Ophelia is attacked by Eric, who accuses her of being a demon and tries to kill her. She uses her invisibility and a hidden pendulum to neutralize him, and this leads to his death.
Neutralize him means he was cut in half.
Yes, yep. He big died.
He dead. He dead.
And so she makes it to the levers, which so with the levers, it's like you push it up to get an advantage for yourself, and someone's down to get a disadvantage for them. And when Cade makes it out, he disadvantages Ophelia, so she has to push it up to neutralize herself and push Cade's down to neutralize him. So she manages to do all that. Again, I'm not clear on how this is gluttony. Anyway, so
it felt like Greed Part 2 to me.
It felt like Greed Part 2 to me.
Yeah. I just don't know if she was like, she came up with these great ideas, and in some ways, like, these are the ones where it feels like, did she try to like put the sins on top of these ideas that she had to like reverse engineer it?
And especially because she does switch Greed and Gluttony from Dante's Inferno, I was like, was this Greed initially? Right. And then she decided that the symbolism was like less nuanced in the lava cages, and that one needed to be Greed and this one needed to be Gluttony. I don't know. Okay, so she's traumatized but victorious. She gets out of the level and she encounters Lucy, who's like not her friend, but like the closest thing that she has to an acquaintance among the other contestants, I think. And Lucy also made it through, and she seems unfazed by all the death.
She's a little sus.
Yeah, which like creeps Ophelia out a little bit. She's like, what's your deal?
Yeah. And Lucy is Cade fucking Barlow's sister, right?
Cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucy fucking Barlow?
Yeah, Lucy fucking Barlow.
There. All right, we move on to chapter 33. Ophelia seeks a distraction from the horrors. She summons Blackwell and is like, naked and like, distract me. And he's like, I don't think I just want to be a distraction to you. And then she's like, okay, then leave, because I'm going to distract myself. And he's like, you won't. And she's like, I will. And so she starts having self soup. And Blackwell's like, all right.
It's a cup of noodles. You know, she was able to make it for herself.
She's making herself some top ramen. And he's like, actually, let's add some fresh ingredients to the top.
Yeah.
I mean, top ramen's pretty good. Like,
right, and can be even better if you add fresh ingredients to it. So, like,
Yep.
there's really, again, it's a very realistic book. I can't say half of this with a straight face. I'm so glad we're not at work right now. Okay, so I lost my place. So they have soup.
Yeah. And he says she's the closest to heaven he'll ever get. Come on.
And he doesn't want to go home right now.
you know, right?
I love that.
Okay, I should also say I read this on vacation, and I was in Boston and then Mystic, Connecticut. Long live Mystic, Connecticut. That place is great. But I was in Boston to see the Lumineers, and they have a song called Oilia. And so between the concert, when they played Oilia, and then reading this book, I've just been singing that song nonstop for a week.
I love that.
All right.
So
you were going to say something.
This is actually chapter 32. The notes are wrong. She's an angel. Her dad is Gabriel.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Right. We said this last time. We're like,
Well,
Gabriel was obviously an angel.
Okay. Okay, so I have another question. Okay, so they have soup, right? They have soup. The soup is made, and he like finishes, but he's a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Do they need like a contraception potion? Like, what are the rules?
He's warm and has abs and fluids, apparently. But he's a ghost? Actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but he's a phantom. So I don't understand what the rules of the ghosts are.
And then she says she needs space, and I'm like, I guess I get it. I don't get it.
Right. Here she's back to the like, I want the soup, but I don't want it. But I want it. I don't want it. Yeah.
All right. So she
spent some time away from Blackwell in chapter 33.
Away from Blackwell, and Sinclair traps her in an illusion. So
Yep.
he asks her for something like her most frivolous fantasy. And of course, all of her fantasies involve Blackwell. And so she tells him she'd love to go to a lavish ball. And so he transports her into this ballroom, showing off his powers and revealing his hatred for Blackwell. And he claims that Blackwell stole his freedom.
And did we learn, is that in this chapter? So we learn why. Real quick though, so we learn who the creator of Phantasma is. So let's play that game. What's his name?
Yeah, the S guy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have it written down.
I have it written down.
Can you spell it for me?
Let me throw it in the chat. So his name for everyone is Salmaestrus. That's his name.
Salmaestrus.
That's the one I went with. Salmaestrus. So
I think of like maestro.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So he's a big daddy demon.
His
right?
His father is the king of the devils. He's a prince of the devils. Sinclair said that him and Blackwell used to be friends, and I forget the reason why. They did go over it, but he's basically trapped there because of Blackwell. Yeah.
Which again, I think is further evidence that Blackwell is a demon who died somehow, was likely murdered by one of these guys, some of these guys, and became a phantom.
It's a phantom.
He's a devil.
And the name Salmaestro, Sal, who is the one who's like controlling Phantasma now. But the other demons are not able to say his name out loud.
Yes, only Sinclair is able to say his name. Sin and Sal.
Oh.
Sin and Sal. All right, so Blackwell shows up. She's like trying to summon him, but he's like, Sinclair is like, you're not going to be able to summon him. I don't know, trapped him or whatever. But he finally shows up and he rescues Ophelia from Sinclair's illusion. But breaking the magic leaves her in intense pain. And she's like, I need a minute. And he's like, you don't have a minute. Wrath is starting right now.
Right, meow.
And you gotta go, or you're like about to get disqualified, which is like clearly part of Sinclair's trick, is that because he wants her to drop out of the competition. So this is where Raya is the demon. Is that true, or was she the demon for gluttony?
No, she was the demon. She was the demon for this
So
she makes the comment about like, it's so good to see you, Blackwell.
Yeah. So the demon who the devil who's like running this level. We did have a non-binary devil for one of these levels. Was that for gluttony? So some of them have been men and some of them have been women. We had one non-binary devil, and then this devil is Raya.
That's that Disney movie.
It's spelled Rayea.
I was saying Raya in my head solely because I was thinking of the dating app.
Oh, I was thinking of the Disney movie.
There you go.
Thank you.
I haven't seen.
That's fine.
But Disney movies are inherently romantasy. So in this essay, I will.
It's your romantasy starter guide.
Yeah. So she's like, oh my God, Blackwell, it's like so good to see you. And Ophelia's like, I don't like the way that she says his name. Like she's screamed it before, which I thought was like kind of a funny way to talk about it. But so she's like, what's the clue for Wrath? And she's like, too late, bitch. Gotta go.
You should have been here.
She gets thrown into the level. She's in a confined space where contestants must choose between forfeit and Wrath. Ophelia chooses Wrath. The confined space crumbles and they're able to see each other. And all the contestants have also chosen Wrath. And so now they're all just in this chaotic free-for-all. And Ophelia is like, what are we supposed to do? And they were like, the clue was basically something about a consensus. And so Ophelia like targets Cade and like they're all gunning for each other. And they eventually are like, Cade and his like cronies are bullying this person named Edna, who I think was maybe the guy who lost his mouth's sister.
Correct.
And she's there because she's trying to bring back their younger brother from the dead.
Yeah.
And so they're like attacking Edna, and Edna, they're like strangling her. And Ophelia's like trying to rescue her, and they finally like get Edna free, and they're like, all right, now we got to go kill Cade. And Edna's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And so she forfeits, which means everybody else gets out unscathed and nobody dies during the Wrath level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something along the lines of like there were pillars that they get to stand on or something like that.
You gotta pick the pillars. It's like musical chairs. There's one fewer pillar than there are.
Right. And then everyone voted Cade out.
Mm-hmm.
And Cade was like, fuck out of here. I'm not out. And he like held Edna captive until she was like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
Cade fucking Barlow.
I know we've been calling him Cade fucking Barlow, which in the other books, there is something of a redemption arc that's likely going to happen with fucking Barlow. I'm not feeling it anymore because Cade literally just tried to strangle Edna. Like straight up was just like, I am strangling her till she turns purple on the floor.
Yeah.
He's like, we got to kill somebody, and I choose you. I don't remember why he chose her.
I forget why he chose her. I think it was just proximity.
I think he just identified somebody that he thought was a weak link.
Yeah.
Could strangle. Because he clearly like has it out for Ophelia, but like if he strangled Ophelia, she would turn transparent and disappear. So like so after level 5, Ophelia confronts Sinclair and is like, what the fuck, dude? And he hints at, she's like, where's Blackwell? Because she hasn't summoned him in 17 levels. And he's like, oh, Blackwell's with Raya. And Ophelia gets super jealous. And then later, Ophelia's in the bathtub, and her shadow voice is tormenting her with thoughts of Blackwell and Raya together. Blackwell appears and expresses concern. He explains that Sinclair's magic prevented him from hearing her summons and reassures her about his feelings. And this chapter ends with the beginnings of soup. It's clear that they're about to have soup. So I imagine chapter 36 will be a soup chapter.
There it is. I'm enjoying this book.
You would feel so much better, Ophelia, if you would just get some sleep.
Just take a nap.
Take a nap, Ophelia.
You know?
Exhausting. She does also in the she's like sharing more, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about OCD today. I'll say more in the last episode, I'm sure. But she's sharing more about the shadow voice with Blackwell than she's like really ever shared with anybody. She like talked about it a little bit with her mom and her sister, but not like this. And so she talks about how the voice is like constantly telling her what a terrible person she is and all the horrible things that she has done. And it's also intrusive thoughts are often telling you to do horrible things. And so she says, I don't listen to the voice, but it makes it easy to think anything good about myself is simply neutralizing all the darkness in my head, which I think has summed up OCD better than I've ever read, heard, experienced anybody else sum it up. So if you listening to this podcast are like me and are reading this book and are like, holy shit, it's a horror movie in my mind, may I recommend finding a good psych nurse practitioner who can prescribe medication that will help with your intrusive thoughts. Because it's really, if I had read this book like 5 years ago, it would be an instant do not finish for me. And I would have been like pissed off that I let us pick it as an option. But I'm actually like really appreciating reading about her struggle and reading about it from the perspective of an author who really identifies with it. And then like gold star for me for like being in a place where I can do that.
Yeah.
You did it.
We love that.
So these are the two things I know things about: bourbon and obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yep. Put it on your CV.
Yeah, put it on my CV. My resume does list under special skills exquisite doodles.
I love that.
All right. Do we like what we read so far?
I'm into it.
Yeah, me too. I like it a lot. It's really fun.
I love a defined, there are going to be this many levels.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to experience this many challenges.
There's not been one knot.
Not the knot.
We passed by in Mystic, there's like a sailor store that like makes like sailor knots, and they had like different knot pun on their sign every day, and I was like too mad about it to even take a picture of it for you.
Yeah, no, I'm really liking it. So how do we think it's going to end?
I think she's going to end up making a deal with Sinclair. I think the fact that it's been brought up twice, there's something that's going to happen towards the end of the book where she's just going to be like, fuck. And yes, I'll do this to be able to save Blackwell and or Genevieve. So that's my thought.
I think because, go ahead.
No, go. I'm still thinking.
I think because there are other games, right? It's the Wicked Games series. Right. I don't know if that means that like she wins and she frees. She says like, I'm going to free Genevieve, and they're like, all right, double or nothing. You can play this next game and also free Blackwell. So I don't know if like that is a thing that could happen. I don't know. I don't think she's not going to forfeit. No. So like
she might lose, but she might not forfeit.
I don't even think she's going to lose.
I don't think she's going to lose, but if you're telling me like, does she lose or does she forfeit? I'll pick her losing over her forfeiting.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I don't know. It could go. I mean, maybe like they have Blackwell in a situation or Genevieve like trapped or something, and and then she has to forfeit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I am curious because this is a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
And the Wicked Games, and so it's like, how are there more games?
How are there more games, right? Is it like, are we going to RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars All Winners season? Like, is she competing with other people who have won Phantasma? Like, I don't know. Which I guess like the Hunger Games did that too.
Well, we also, I mean, there can only be one winner, but we know that both Oilia and Genevieve are in here. So what does that mean about them?
We don't know Genevieve is in there.
That's true too.
Okay, fair.
Genevieve might have been taken as bait for Oilia to join.
Yeah.
Or Genevieve is just like, oh, I just bounced to Paris for 2 weeks.
Right. She's like,
she's like, I just went to the store. I've been gone for 30 minutes.
I actually like am off owning Pharaoh Henry.
Right.
Still want to know who he is. So the other thing is, I don't remember exactly what it is, but like the final level, they're like, not everybody who makes it through the 8th level gets to compete in the 9th level.
Right.
And so like, I'm kind of wondering if the second round is like the people who don't make it to the 9th level. I don't know. I'll also say I did a little bit too much digging into Dante's Inferno in the process of like trying to figure this out. So we got Limbo, Lust, Gluttony, Greed, Wrath, and then there's like the River Styx and like the City of Dis, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so there's like some stuff in between Wrath and Heresy. And so I'm wondering, is that going to be represented in some way? But also like TikTok, we're halfway through the levels and we're like 65% of the way through the book. So I don't know. We don't
have a lot of time. Yeah. I mean, and I'm the slowest reader out of all of us. And I think I have like 2.5 hours left in the book.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping up, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens, actually. I think we find out that, she's an angel or something like that.
I don't think we're going to find out that she's an angel and that he's a devil, both in this book.
Okay.
I don't know which one we're going to find out now, but what other twists,
Something with Genevieve. I think there's going to be a Genevieve twist.
Yeah. Well, if she is the offspring of a necromancer and some other being, whether it's a specter or like, again, I still don't understand what a specter is. So like whether it's a specter or an angel or whatever, that also means that Genevieve, even if she hasn't taken her mother's magic, is some kind of paranormal being.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know about all that.
All right, let's wrap this up. What's our homework?
Finish the book.
Great.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Homework is to finish the book. What else are we reading?
I'm reading Throne of Glass series. I just started my tandem read of Something Storms and the Tower of Dawn. I think it's Empire of Storms.
Empire of Storms.
Yeah. And Tower of Dawn. And it's been great. These books have been fantastic. They've been so good.
Phantasma.
Yep. Love them. Almost 5 stars for the past 2 books have been 5 stars. So it's a fantastic series.
And I am very slowly reading Crescent City. I was also on vacation and was vacationing and not actually reading as much as I anticipated. And then I've come back and I have been really into binging Netflix for the last
Nice. Hell yeah.
So I have watched a lot of TV, which I hadn't done in like 6 months. I had a moment where I was like, I keep paying for all these subscription services and I watch like one show a week, maybe like 1 hour of TV, maybe.
Yeah, I feel that.
So that's been me, but Crescent City, and then I'm excited to finish this up.
It's going to sound like I've read a lot in the last week, but I actually don't think I have. I finished The Night and the Moth, which I think I did like right after we last podcasted. I'm not going to talk about it because we're going to do an episode about it that you'll hear about later. I read episodes.
Yeah, at least 2. That book needs to be.
All right, then we'll talk about it. So then I read Heartstopper Volume 4. Loved it. Love everything about Heartstopper. I have volume 5 right now, but I'm probably not going to read it until this weekend because I don't want it to end. Love it. I love that the books are getting more mature over time. And speaking of characters with OCD, clocked that like halfway through the book, which was exciting. And again, like I thought, well done. Then while we were on vacation, I read The Mayor of Maxwell Street. And friends, this was supposed to be my distraction from reading romance novels. It's a 1920s historical fiction. A Black debutante finds herself mixed up in a scheme about the mysterious gangster who runs the whole town of Chicago. I loved the writing. It's her debut novel, which my sister always says is someone's best story. I did not like this book, and it breaks my heart. So I gave it 2.75 stars. The only thing that makes it more than a 2.5 for me is that I liked the writing, but I cannot in good conscience give it 3 stars. I do not understand what happens in the end of this book. I don't get it. I have a lot of questions. There are like the big twist I thought was very obvious. The other big twists I don't understand. So I don't know, man. I mean, I finished it last night. I like stayed up late to finish it, and I've been mad ever since. So now I'm still working on my Ripped Bodice bingo. I am reading The Match, which is about guide service dogs for my Animal with a Job Square, and I am listening to Astrid Parker. Astrid Parker does something. Astrid Parker doesn't fail, which is for my...
Astrid Parker doesn't lose.
Astrid Parker doesn't fail, which is for my construction square.
Amanda, you have failed to mention, however, the best book that you read last week.
Pizza Friends.
Pizza My Heart.
I forgot that I read that because I didn't put it on Goodreads. Friends, I read a book called Pizza My Heart for my pizza square. It was a, 44-page novella. Boy meets girl. Girl works in her brother's pizza shop. Boy owns an Italian restaurant named after his grandmother. He sees her. He falls in love. He tells her he's in love with her. He takes her out to dinner once. They end up in a private room with a couch for some reason. There's soup in the private room. I'm pretty sure she'd never had soup before. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then like flash forward to a year later, they're married and she's 9 months pregnant.
The end. I feel like I read it now. I'm putting that down as a square.
0 stars, negative 100 stars. Look,
it was probably someone's debut book, though, and their best story.
She writes a lot of these.
Oh.
It's part of a collection of books that have food pun names. I don't know, but look, I'm trying to finish Ripped Bodice Bingo and also read books that aren't romance books. So I'm cutting some corners. I forgot I read that.
All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Thank you for listening. And your homework, finish Phantasma.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.